Hello, how are we doing today? I want to make another video on NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which was created in 1949 by United States, Canada, and several Western European nations. First of all, why was NATO created? NATO was created to provide collective security against the Soviet Union. So actually, NATO was created to stop the growth of Soviet Union. And then when Soviet Union finally collapsed, instead of NATO to stop expanding, they did not disband they did not disband NATO. Sometimes we don't really understand the politics, the underground politics. Had it been that NATO, maybe NATO, in fact, let us understand that NATO was founded because of Soviet Union. And again, I'm not against that, but then, I always say this: what will happen if Russia and China joins NATO? Would NATO continue to expand? Definitely not. But then I don't know why NATO is afraid of Russia and China. Apparently, because they still want to be in charge, in power, to control every other country. But I don't know if that is still necessary. In other words, I wouldn't like to go deep so that I will not be misunderstood. But at the same time, we have been told too many lies. That is why it's good to research. I would like you to do your own research, why NATO was formed. And then you ask yourself, what will happen if Russia and China joins NATO today? The answer is still the same. NATO will stop expanding. Like I said, I wouldn't like to go into deep, trying to cancel or make this person the bigger devil and the lesser devil. But it's better to understand how this politics is being played out. My own target here is this: we need peace, and we should know when we are going. Okay, let me put it this way now. Russia is the second in power when it comes to military, followed by China. I don't think that United States or even Britain would allow Russia and China to have a base in Mexico across their own border. I don't think so. I don't think it will happen. So why are we playing politics with human lives in the name of what I always call power tussle? We need to put an end to all this nonsense, and enact a better law that can help to save humanity. Peddling lies and propaganda is not going to solve any problem. I might be wrong, but this is based on my research, because when NATO was founded, and why are they still, encroaching or expanding by telling lies? I'm not in any way saying that the invasion of Ukraine is necessary, but it could have been avoided at the same time. So why looking at the right, we should also look at the left. US, Britain, there's no way they could allow Russia or China to have a base across their border. Another thing I would like to talk about is what we always hear: dictatorship. Who is actually a dictator? Sometimes US and Western Europe doesn't even know that what they claim to be is not actually who they are. Let me put it this way. I have seen I have seen many political game where US or some of the European countries, I mean Western European countries, will stay in their country. We should always remember this. The Prime Minister of UK was elected by the people of UK. So are you telling me that you will stay in your country and you were elected by your own people, just like American president is elected by the Americans? French president is elected by the French people. Then you will stay in your country and then you will be telling other people in their own country that was elected by their own citizens how to live their life. This is just like two coins with two faces. I'm not that America and the Western, will I say NATO, doesn't even know that, contrary to their claims, they're also being dictators. You know, many African countries, many African presidents are in Africa, in Asia, and the Caribbean have been ousted. And what they do is this: they will remove your president and then impose someone they believe that can work with them, not actually somebody that can work for his own people or her own people, but someone that can work with them. By so doing, that makes you a dictator because you are trying to impose someone that will benefit your political beliefs. I am not canvassing for a president like mostly in African countries. We have presidents who have been there for 30 years, 35 years. I'm not canvassing for that, but at the same time, what about the presidents that are working, but then they don't believe in your own ideologies? Let me say this: there was one president from Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, who was doing great job. He was doing marvelously well, and then because he refused to accept one policy, will I say, policy that comes with human rights, that is even against their cultural values, then you say, then that was a plan that he doesn't deserve to be there. You cannot be a president of another country and then you start telling people who to vote. That makes you a dictator. Even the worst dictator. You don't stay in your country and tell people what or how to live their life. So when some leaders, they call themselves world leaders. When some of this, and when you use world leaders, it's always U.S. and Western Europe. So if you don't believe in their own policy, in their own form of governance, maybe if you don't believe in democracy form of governance, then you are a dictator. They don't believe that. They don't accept the fact that being a communist, you can be a good president. Being a socialist, you can still be a good president. No, they want every country to practice their own way of life, which doesn't make sense to me. It's time for us to start respecting people's cultural values. That way, we need peace in our world. Don't be a dictator from somewhere and you are claiming that another person is a dictator. It doesn't work like that. We need to start telling ourselves the truth. We need peace, and if we need a sustainable peace, then we must start telling ourselves the truth. and work towards having a peaceful world. My message here is I'm condemning Russian invasion, and then, but if we need to avert any further invasion, we need to start respecting boundaries, people's boundaries. You don't stay far away and want to control other people's boundaries. No. Rather, you should make peace. You don't want to stay in the West and control those in the Asia. You don't want to stay in North America and control those in Africa. It doesn't make sense to me. We should allow people what works for them. The people should decide what. Maybe if we are being called, then you know that it's getting serious. But if no one calls you, don't just come. Stay in your domain. If something that is working for us and you don't like it, you don't need to like it. If something that is working for A, you don't need to like it. Once it's working for them and they are not complaining, as long as there is no human rights abuse, please stay where you are. If you are staying in the West and you are telling people in African countries how to live their life, that makes you a dictator. So this is going to be a short video, okay? We need peace. I'm here to talk about peace. And that peace, because peace is necessary in our lives. Thank you. Have a blessed day.